sort of.
Awesome. Well, what we'll do, we'll jump into it. And Christy, we'll give a pre-frame and basically an opening to who you are, why you do what you do, and your gifts and talents that you're here to serve the world. And Melaine
Wow.
just quickly popped in. She said, yes, I'm a woman.
Fantastic. I'm glad I got that right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, obviously, my name is Christy Lee Rackham. I have two sort of business entities in the world that are, I guess, a reflection of me. I tend to see my businesses as a flowing of my essence into the world, right? So a representation of me. So my holistic nurse is my more mainstream, I guess, offering. And through that, I offer education around holistic self-care, mostly for stress, anxiety, and fear management. It started out as for chronic illness, given that that was my history and overcoming all of that. So I had some lived experience as well as my nursing training. But I've actually been a healer for 30 years almost. So I started out doing energy work and then moved into nursing, not the other way around, which is a lot of people don't know that about me. So yeah, so Christy Lee Rackham is my other entity, and that's more the intuitive healing side of things. The two do cross over. I'm one person. They cross over. Yeah, but my purpose is to raise consciousness and help people to understand that no matter where you are or what you're struggling with, we all have the innate capacity to heal and rise out of whatever situation isn't serving us into a grander, more luscious, more vibrant, shiny way of doing life. So, and you can start anywhere at any time. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that, exactly what you said, that we can start anywhere at any time, but whatever's not serving us. And we're going to delve deep into that with, obviously, with the coronavirus and what's going on. Speaking both to entrepreneurs, business owners that are leading, also have the opportunity to lead, and those that are in the community that are families and have others to support, because you're a leader in the home, and it's really important, I see anyway, and I feel, to be that leader no matter where you're at, and to love and just be the best self that you can be. And I guess this is why I brought you on, because I know you're just full of magic and awesome tips.
So sweet. Thank you. Cool. Well, I guess we're as you say, you know, I call them way showers. We're all way showers in our own right. We're all sovereign individuals, and every single person has, you know, that unique thread that makes them special to not just to themselves and their family, but to the whole world. We each have our position to take up and move into for the greater good of humanity. So everyone is a way shower in some form. Even if we don't think, you know, we are. We have the ability to show other people the way forward. So
you know, I love it. You give yourself permission to be you, and you give someone else to be permission for them to be themselves as well. And I think
not always easy.
No.
Who am I again? I don't know. I have a split personality. I've got my holistic nurse over here and Christy Lee Rackham over here.
Well, what I'd love is your perception on your take on what's happening right now with the coronavirus and the shift that you see, because I'm truly excited. I'll share mine last, but you go first.
Don't want to influence anything. Look, I have seen this coming for a while. I had some visions when I was 18 years old of a split in the way the world was going. The way it was given to me as a vision was actually two separate planets, and one of them was destitute and raw and desolate in terms of the heat. It was very, very hot, and the people were living underground and creating you know, a horticultural society underneath the ground because it was too hot on the surface. And then on the other hand, there was this other representation of a lush, almost nirvana, abundant, prosperous planet. All right. So we had the two. And so I understood at that time, through talking with some other spiritual leaders and other scientists, where this vision is not unusual in certain scenes or certain places. And they were able to explain to me what the representation was all about. Anyway, long story short, I've been moving towards some kind of, shall we call it a cataclysmic event for a while now, and following my intuition and making changes with my world, my family, my business, in order to prepare myself and the people that work with me for a dramatic shift in the consciousness of the planet. We are here now. We've been moving towards this for a while. It's not like suddenly, you know, everything that was just stops and everything that is just starts. It's not like that. There's like an enmeshment and a crossing over that happens, like a splitting of threads, if you like. So if you're pulling apart a fabric at the seams.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in that phase at the moment. There's still threads, you know, connecting both kinds of consciousness, but we're definitely seeing a separation now. And there's very much a case of, which camp do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the desolate underground, not seeing the light of day, not being able to breathe the fresh air, not being able to connect with people physically because being on the surface is going to kill you? Or do you want to be in this lush nirvana where everyone's supported and thriving and loving and looking after each other? So I think that we're at that beautiful choice point. People have the opportunity now. Which way do you want to be? Which way do you want to live? And I personally want to go for nirvana. Yeah. I'm like, send me to the lush green planet. I'm there.
And can I quickly also, those that are listening in, who else wants to be in nirvana? Just type yes in the chat box. I want to know if you guys want to be in nirvana. Yeah, who's with? I want to join. I want to be in nirvana.
That's where I'm going. Yeah. Follow me. Yeah. Yeah. So on that note, what I see here, and I'm with you on a lot of levels, there is a lot of excitement, and we've seen it. We've seen a big shift since about late 2016, 2017. The people are starting to wake up to a better way. And it's really exciting to me because I've been waiting. Yeah. I published a book on meditation almost 10 years ago, but I'd been given the draft form of that meditation book 12 years before that as a channel. Yeah. So I'm waiting. When are people going to catch up? When are people going to see that there's a different way, a better way? And obviously I've had my own processing to do too. Yes. But we're here, and there's been this mass awakening since 2017, and it's going to pick up momentum and speed, and it's only going to get faster and more prevalent that people are rising and awakening to this loving possibility that's there. So I'm also very excited. Having said that, I also work with clients who have anxiety, stress, fear, and trauma. So I'm aware that in order to find nirvana, if you like, in order to feel what it feels like to have ease and joy and freedom, it has to come from the inside out, not the other way around. So we have to heal ourselves first.
Okay,
all that backlog.
Cool. So there's a couple of points. You just give me so much that I don't know where to start. Like, I'm so excited. So I actually want to touch on connection. Yeah. Because I know, and I loved how you actually did that split world where it's, you know, desolate or nirvana, and we get to choose. And I think that's my message. What I'm propelling is people now get to choose where they want to go. Yeah. The choices for people to make to stay supported, loved, and within their connection and community. What are some tips or something you've seen that has really helped people now?
Right now?
Yeah.
With coronavirus?
Yeah.
Well, I do find it fascinating, and you'll have to pull me back today if I do spiral off into some other tangent, because it's fun, right? There's the option of separation or connection. It's definitely there. The powers that be, and I'm not going to go into why or how or what that's doing, but the powers that be, in their decision-making capacity, have asked us to separate. And I find that both concerning and almost reasonable at the same time. So in terms of what people can do now and should do now, to connect first and foremost with nature. When they started shutting beaches and national forests and all of this sort of thing, it made me a little bit edgy and a little bit nervous, because I believe that everyone has a sovereign right to connect with nature, and we are part of nature. So to impinge upon liberties in that sense was a little bit concerning for me.
Yeah.
Because it could, as I said, it could go either way. At the moment, we've got to choose in ourselves. So for me, it's about helping people to connect with nature through any means possible at the moment. So if that means you've got a little square of grass in your backyard, then you go sit on that grass, and put your feet on the ground, connect with Mother Earth, invite the sun to enter your body, feel the breeze on your skin, hear the birds, really mindfully dig in and embrace the little slice of land you've got.
Yeah.
And we're blessed in Australia, we're so blessed. If you can get out into a wider space, then by all means, I think that is a good thing to do. And I'm not saying do it with hordes of people, that would be dumb. I'm not saying go to the beach where, it's packed with other individuals. But if you're blessed with space, go stand on a paddock, on a mountaintop, in a tree, by a river, and get amongst it on that level first. Balcony, have a little plant. If you don't have land, have a pot plant, and just love that pot plant. Talk to it, sing to it, be with the pot plant.
Yeah, you know what? Even though this sounds really crazy, I've actually done that.
Yeah, good.
So I've started gardening, and gardening I've always wanted to do, but I've just obviously never had the time.
Sure.
Now we're in lockdown.
Now we've got tons.
Now we've got time. And I love it. I just literally have a patch of dirt and my feet are in the dirt, and I'm kind of like, I can't wait to get my feet dirty.
It's awesome.
And I never knew why. But this is such like an awakening to be like, you're right, nature and coming back to the ground and the earth is so important, just to ground ourselves. Am I coming from the right space?
Yeah, absolutely. And grounding really just means connection. It's just another word for connection. There is a really cool technique, if you don't mind me sharing. It's really easy. It's not mine. It was actually a gift from another healer colleague, but it's really powerful and simple. You literally just stand with your feet on the ground, find a nice neutral spine, they call it in chiropractic, where your chin, it's a yoga stance as well, so your chin's just slightly tucked in, the back of your neck is relatively straight. You imagine that there's a rod or a thread just gently lifting you and coming down through the center of your spine and into the ground, down through your legs, and closing your eyes and inviting Mother Earth to draw all the toxins, to draw all the negative energy, to draw all the undesired energies out of your system. And just imagine it like a magnet, just gently pulling all of that sludge, slush, energetic debris, emotional distress, dragging it down out of your body and dispersing it back into the earth. Mother Earth, I want to say this, Mother Earth is not damaged. Mother Earth is not in pain. Mother Earth is not suffering. She is infinite love. She understands how to bring balance and harmony, which is what's going on with the crazy weather and the volcanoes and floods and fires. And that's Mother Earth's balance, harmony coming into play. It's not her lashing out. It's not her hating humans. We're part of her, right? So this is a way. So first allow that to draw out, and you'll feel a switch if you're present enough. You'll feel when it's done, and then you like switch the magnet and reverse the poles and ask Mother Earth to top you up. So like an MRI scanner, from the feet all the way up the body, imagine that she is restoring your health, restoring your vitality, bringing the energy up through your feet all the way to the top of your head until it's complete. And it's just such a beautiful thing. Sometimes it will take, if you're not practiced at it, it can take a while. But after a while, the more you do it, the faster it gets. And it's just like, bang, it's drained, bang, it's in. Done. Let's move on. Yeah.
Wow. And you know what's really interesting? The question I'm asking around support, I was actually looking for a different answer.
Oh, sure. I'm sure.
And no, but this is perfect because it taps on the perspective of we're like New Zealand's isolated. We have our own community. Like I've got my
Yeah.
partner, his little girl, and I've got his family down the hill. Like that's really it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Okay.
I was looking for like, how can people connect with people when we're not allowed? But
yeah.
I like your answer because then it taps into the question of internal and external.
Yeah. And I'm coming from the perspective that we're not disconnected anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone has the ability to connect with Mother Earth. But if you connect with Mother Earth, you're connected to the greater energy field that we're all literally part of. We're not separate to each other. And this is really important for people to understand at the moment, because there is this perceived physical separation. In my work, there is no separation. When I do healings, I've been working online for 3 or 4, almost 4 years now. When I work with my clients, I'm not doing hands-on physical touch healing anymore. It makes zero difference to the transformation that happens because we're all connected. So when I tap into the earth and I tap into the cosmos, all I have to do is reach out, and my client's right there. They're right with me. So I get where you were coming from, you know, and obviously there are obvious things. Have a virtual cup of coffee with a friend on Zoom, you know, do these kinds of things. I ran a couple of webinars when this first kicked off to help people connect and connect with their vision rather than where the trauma is at the moment. You know, ringing people up, playing board games with your family. I've joined an online choir. I'm so excited. So great. I've been waiting for this because with homeschool, you know, I'm always looking for new opportunities that are virtual.
Yeah.
So there's so much that we can do. One of my friends and client is part of a thing called House Party. I don't understand that particular app, but it's a connection app. I don't get how it works yet, but I only logged on last week. So people are coming up with the best ideas.
Yeah.
Amazing to me.
Isn't it? And I guess that's then we're seeking opportunity. So how can, okay, so this is my next question then. So if we're sitting in the space where we're at, and obviously there's those two worlds we can jump into, either my world is over, my life is over, I don't know when I'm going to get my next paycheck, to let's seek opportunities and what can I look forward to in my vision.
Yeah, look, it's important to state as well that if you do have financial concerns, you do need to face those and solve those problems. There is a reality that we do need to take care of. What I'm asking for people to do though is to not swim in reality, the current reality.
Go on, explain.
Well, there's always a lag time in human reality, right? Our physical bodies are more dense, they're more heavy, they're more concentrated forms of energy, which means they're slower to react to change. So when we vision forward, we're taking our soul and our energy into, it's not actually where we want to be, it's what's already available to us, energetically speaking. So we take ourselves to that position and we feel and we see and we experience what it feels like to live in that place where we're joyful and we've got funds and our business is thriving and we are connected and living a luscious life, right? There's a lag time though, and it takes time for our human reality to catch up. So we vision forward, we feel into that other reality, and then we do that through our hearts, and then we connect back into this moment and go, okay, in order to get to there, which is not linear by the way, but in order to get to there, it's another planet, we need to, what steps can I take? What choices can I make today that are moving me in the direction of that feeling, that thought, that experience? So today it might be, okay, whilst my bills are mounting up, I know where I'm going. How can I lovingly disperse my resources today in a way that is gently edging into that new reality? So some of my clients have lost their jobs or closed their businesses at the moment, and some of them have financial reserves and some of them don't. There is a lot of money available right now to a lot of people. So the first thing that needs to happen in order to move you into the direction of your luscious, thriving vision for financial, prosperous, rich, abundant life, not just money, but full abundance and goodness, is to deal with the limiting belief system that there isn't enough money.
Yeah.
You've got to deal with those fears and those limiting beliefs now, not 3 months down the track when you run out of money, but now, so that you can open to the possibility that there is wealth, abundance, and you can have it. And then it is amazing what comes forward. It really is. Like last week, I did some work on my own belief systems because I'm human, right? Yeah. Some would question that, but yes, I'm human. A little bit weird, but that's all right. So working on my own belief system because I had to move house, and I heard this dialogue running through my head. Oh, people aren't buying right now. People don't have money. People just can't afford stuff right now. And it was in relationship to something I was doing for my work. I'm like, whoa, that's a limiting belief system if I ever heard it. And the first question to ask is this mine?
Oh my gosh, I hope everyone is writing golden nuggets right now. Is this mine?
Is this mine? Because the collective consciousness is freaking heavy right now. And there are beyond a reasonable amount of people who have lost their jobs and are concerned. And this dialogue is a collective dialogue. There's not enough money. I haven't got enough money. I can't pay my bills. I'm never going to have enough. I don't know where the next dollar is coming from. It's a repetitive stream of consciousness that we're swimming in. So you have to ask, is this mine? And check in with yourself. How safe am I? Is it relevant to me? Is that thought process relevant? And if it is, then shift your limiting belief system and open to the abundance that's all around us. So I did this. And I didn't have, sorry, I'll finish my story. Yeah. I didn't have a removalist, and I was like, oh geez, I don't really want to spend my savings. I'd rather spend, some cash flow than on the moving house bit. And anyway, I did some work, and then I ended up getting a friend who used to have a removals business, who lost his job and was idle and bored and needing some cash for their bills. And so there was this symbiotic solution that came forward. They were able to help me for less than it would have cost me for a professional removalist. I was able to support a member of my community. They supported me by getting me moved, and everybody wins.
Everyone.
There are win-win-win solutions all over the place for money at the moment. I spiraled, sorry.
No, that's so good. That is so good. Win. Let's touch on that next. Before, I want to just go back a step and ask, how can people, because I think the first phase that you do is the awareness of the dialogue. Then the second is questions to ask yourself, is this mine? And I think great questions lead to great answers.
Yeah.
So those questions that you ask yourself,
you've got to be so careful with your questions. Yes. I'm cautioning people at the moment against asking why.
Yes.
It's a human condition to ask why, but often the why question is completely transparent of a limiting belief system. Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Why can't I make this work? Why haven't I gotten enough money? Why didn't I do this sooner? Those are not helpful questions.
So what would be a better question? Where should people plant themselves?
If they need to ask why, it would be, I'd like to ask more of a what question than a why question.
Okay.
What can I do to enhance my reality? What can I do right now to feel better? What can I do to shift my energy into a higher state of being? What can I do to connect with divine wisdom or planetary wisdom to enhance my experience here now? So it's being that present mindfulness type questions.
Yes.
Because it takes you out of the future and out of the past so that you can be embodied and your energy is current and functioning in this space. We have to have our energy embodied in this space in order to get to the future and to release the past. Yeah,
I love that. It completely does. Okay, so why is a no-no?
At the moment, you can have your purpose. People talk in business a lot about their big why.
Yeah.
lusting even after a big purpose right now is probably not going to be as beneficial as just allowing and accepting and inviting the beauty that's here already, and practicing the appreciation for what's already present, and winning that moment. Yeah. So yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're just like doubling down, like, yes, this is all just strengthening. Yes. Even I'm having like little golden like brainwaves. I love that because, you know, I always say, you know, why do you do what you do inside your business? Well, you're right. And I think there's become this point where it is to be in the present moment to what I have now.
Because then you can open up to what your soul wants for you next.
Yeah.
Our heads think we know what we're doing. Our heads think that they're in control. Our heads are used to being in control, and most people are running from unconscious belief patterns that have been programmed in by somebody other than themselves. So what I like to encourage people to do is just sit here and feel your way forward and allow for divine inspiration to find you rather than seeking it. Because for as long as you're seeking a purpose, and there's a fine line, but as long as you're seeking, you're looking outside yourself for the answers. The answers aren't outside you, they're here. The outside world can reflect what's going on in here, but the answers aren't out there. So allowing for your heart and soul to start to speak right now is the most powerful thing you can do, because we're in this massive opportunity to go in a totally different direction. And I'm like, bring it. Let me see what my divine energetic blueprint wants for me this lifetime. How can I express who I truly am as a sovereign individual? My unique thread of frequency, how does that want to play into this situation? And it takes enormous courage to follow it.
Oh my gosh.
It's scary to follow it. You know, be under no illusions. It's freaking scary at times, you know, but it's exciting as well. It's a big adventure.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Boom. That's it. We're done.
I'm sure it was funny when I was prepping for this today, I'm like, I wonder what we're going to talk about.
Oh, Chrissy, I never prep with you.
Don't you? Oh, that's good, because I'm tuning in. I'm like, questions. What questions is Tanae going to answer? Ask me. And it was just like, there's no definitive questions. So I'm like, all right then, let's see what comes in.
And I love this because I think I get you as a person for how you move through this world. And I didn't want this to be a conversation rather than just a preach. I wanted it to be a place where you're allowed to just express and share. Because I think this is what it's meant to be about, I think.
And I wish everybody was given that opportunity, you know, because we do all have something to say. It makes me sad when people think they don't have something to say or don't have something to offer. Because everyone's got this spark of brilliance in them. And everybody's position is unique and special. And in that, we're all the same, you know.
Gosh, I love you. I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. Yeah, this tiny box.
We're just beams of light. We just send beams of light backwards and forwards. It's all good.
So I'm going to ask one more question, and then I would actually love to ask. I generally ask if you have a tip or trick to just share with us, but I would actually love if you could take us through like a 5-minute meditation of what you were talking about. That would be amazing.
Yeah, sure.
However, I wanted to ask, how can people then bridge the gap from once they ask themselves those questions of awareness, then how to move forward, as in how to bridge that gap? Is it affirmations? Is it, you know, what is it to...
I love you so much. All right, so... There are so many ways, but bridging the gap has been my quest. It's why I straddle two worlds, the mainstream with the nursing and the intuitive world, because it is my absolute strong belief that we need bridges right now. And there needs to be more wayshowers sitting in the middle going, okay, you can start here and you finish here, but here's the bridge and it's safe to cross, right?
Yeah.
And you can stand at any position along that bridge as long as you want until you're ready to go one way or the other. It's okay. So the gap has been a real challenge. What I found very frustrating in my early days of recovery from chronic illness was that the medical system and the complementary systems were so separate. And we're not going to be separate anymore, because both sides of the fence are desperately needed with coronavirus in particular. So bridging the gap within an individual, I developed a process for myself 12 years ago because I needed to bridge the gap between my sickness and my health. There was all this space in the middle, and I'm like, how the hell do I get from there to there?
Yes, get it.
And I knew that it couldn't be linear because I'd tried linear. We're kind of not done. We need to bring into balance the linear approach, which is extremely patriarchal. You go from A to Z and you follow A, B, C, D, E, F, G steps. Life isn't just like that. And that's a mindset that we need to break free of. We need to have a linear goal, but we have to bring in the spiral intention or the feeling intention and bring both into harmony that way. So sometimes you spiral out and you're like, I think I'm lost, but you're not really. You're just spiraling into a new state of awareness, and then you'll come back to your masculine direction. So anyway, the process that I developed is called the ACT process. The first step, acknowledge. Where am I at now? And acknowledgement contains the 4 A's. So there's acknowledgement, acceptance, awareness, and allowance. Okay. And there are different levels of all of these things, obviously. And that's something I go into with my training, but I'll acknowledge where you're at. And it's okay to acknowledge that you're scared. Yeah. I was an emotional mess last week. Yeah. Acknowledged it. I feel really sad. I'm feeling a lot of loss. I'm really angry. You know, there are certain emotions that were washing through last week on a collective level. Again, is this mine? Yes, some of it was. So A for ACT. C, connect and calm your farm. You've got to be calm. You've got to do whatever it takes to calm your system down, your nervous system. And this is physiologically speaking here from a nursing perspective. You cannot get clarity and think your way forward if you're in a state of stress and fear. It is physiologically impossible. Yeah. You have to find ways to be calm and settled and centered, because we are our own point of gravity these days, especially now with the isolation. Yes. You can't rely on anybody else. You have to find your inner reserves now. ACT, transform using tools. There are a buckload of tools available. At the moment, there are free tools everywhere. Yeah. So there are no excuses to not find tools or explore methods that could work for you. When I was starting out, I had to research my butt off to find the tools. And then I created a bunch of tools because there weren't tools that were going to work for me. So I created actually a thing called therapeutic applied percussion, which I am going to do a workshop on. It's a 1-hour thing. I'll announce that later. But I find the primary tools that I use personally are meditation, but not fluffy visualization meditation. You want to have meditation with a purpose. Mindfulness is the primary meditation I would be using right now as a tool. Creative visualization can come in, but you have to be purposeful on what you're visioning rather than using visualization as an escape. An emotional escape. A lot of people, when they start out doing meditation, they think they're meditating, but they're actually escaping reality. Yes. Yes. We have to use it purposefully. Yes, Marlene, you can get a recording. That's awesome. Okay, darling. Yeah, the recording, I think we're doing that, aren't we?
Yes, this is recorded and I'll send this out.
Yeah. Tools, I love emotional freedom technique. It's something I use in my group all the time. It is incredibly fast, incredibly powerful. So there are lots of free YouTubes as well. You don't have to do a paid group, but tribe is really important too. So T, tools, transform, tribe, for looking after yourself and transforming your current experience. So find out what the experience is, connect into your inner experience, and then transform the experience if it's not serving you using various tools. So meditation, EFT tapping, therapeutic applied percussion, mindfulness, nature, family, love, support, board games.
You know what? And it's as simple as that.
It is. And we've got to come back to the simplicity.
Yeah.
Life was getting too complicated, which is why humanity's gotten to here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was out of steam. Everyone was reaching fever pitch with fear and running a million miles an hour on this linear perspective. And we've forgotten how to feel. And many people are afraid of feeling because the feelings have been shoved down and locked away for so long that it feels like a torrent might come out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does, but that's okay too.
I think mine's come out a couple of years ago. Better
afterwards.
It is, yes. I flow much better like this.
Yeah, I remember meeting you years ago. I'm like, we're on the precipice now. She's going to tip and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened. It's good. Yeah, but lots of people are at that tipping point now. So the gap is the act process.
Yeah.
Acknowledge where you're at, calm your farm, connect in with your inner self, connect with nature, and transform your experience given whatever you can lay your hands on right now. But keep it simple.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
That's all.
Perfect. That's all good. I'm glad we can start there.
I think we're done. Are we done? Yeah.
Well, to go through, it is 10 past now. So those that are still on, thank you so much for your time. I know I only did pencil in 30 minutes. However, I know
sorry,
Christy and I
blah blah blah. So much to say, so little time.
I know. And what I would love is for you to offer just a quick 5-minute, 10-minute meditation.
Well, actually, this is perfect because therapeutic applied percussion takes literally 3 to 6 minutes in order for you to experience a shift in the level of cortisol and adrenaline running through your body. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I'll run another separate workshop, which will take about an hour on why it works and how it works if people are interested in that. But anybody can do this and it's really simple. So starting out, obviously close your eyes if that's easier for you to focus. And just bringing all your awareness into your breathing. So allowing yourself to focus on the breath as it flows in through your nostrils and run that air down through the esophagus, the airways and into the chest, feeling your body expand as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, be aware of the rush of air flowing down your torso as you breathe out, down your torso, through your legs and into the ground. Acknowledge, how do I feel? How do I feel in my body? And I want you to scan from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Where am I feeling my stress? Where am I feeling the most intense anxiety, stress, fear? Where is it located in my body? Just notice and label it. So where is it? Label it. For example, neck. It's in my neck. It's in my shoulders. It's in my head. It's in my tummy. Acknowledging and locating the point of most intensity now. And I want you to literally get your pointer finger and point to where it is. Point to where that experience of the most intensity is in your body. It may show up as tension, squeezing, fluttering, pain. So take your finger and point to wherever it is. I'm demonstrating too if anybody is wanting to open their eyes. So locating it. Now I want you to imagine now that there is a vortex of pure, clean air flowing directly into that point where your fingers are. You might like to imagine it, if you're visual, as a vortex of golden white light flowing into that point of intensity in your body. And then as you breathe out, I want you to release directly out of that point on your body out into the atmosphere. Breathing into that point of intensity on your body and breathing out. So you're not thinking that you're breathing, you're literally shifting your awareness and feeling the breath coming in to that spot. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, you'll be like, oh, right, that's it. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to repeat the word in your mind, relax, as if you're talking to that part of your body. Breathing air into that location, relax, and release. Breathing into that spot, telling that part of you to relax. And now on the external breath, I want you to repeat the word release. Breathing in, talking to this part of your body, relax, everything's okay. Breathing out, release, it's safe to let go. Breathing in, relax. Breathing out, release. Some of you might see a cloud of energy dissipating out of that spot in your body. And now I want you to bring your finger back to that spot and start tapping very gently on that particular point of intensity in your body. Feeling the air rushing into that spot, relax and tap. Breathing out, release and tap that part of your body. Breathing in, relax. Breathing out, release. And if your mind wanders, that's okay, it does that. I like to just talk to my brain. It's okay, brain, I've got this. It's okay, I'll come back to that. But right now, I'm releasing, I'm relaxing, I'm breathing, I'm tapping. Breathing in, relax, breathing out, release. And you'll notice that the intensity in that point of your body is easing off. It's settling down. Your nerves are coming back to a state of ease. And your mind is occupied, instructing your body. Relax, release. You can continue this process as long as necessary until you feel that shift. There'll be a moment when you realize that the intensity has dropped off a couple of points. It's settled down. Usually that can happen quite quickly. Between 3 to 6 minutes is all it takes. Allowing yourself now to bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Using all of your attention to follow the words as I speak them. Allowing the words to bring you greater peace, greater ease, inviting tranquility, calm, settling down your nervous system. Allowing all of your presence to be here and now, fully relaxed, alert, calm, and ready to move forward. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back.
Oh, I didn't want to come back. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Christy.
It's really simple. It's the same technique as following the ACT process. Step 1, acknowledge where the pain is or the intensity. Step 2, breathe into the section that's struggling. Step 3, tap. Very simple. But it should, did you notice?
Yes.
Did you notice things settle?
Yes, it took a while, but as soon as just that process of just relax and let go, and when you said the conversation with the mind, I'll come back to this. It's okay. But first we're going to relax and let go. Yeah. And that was very helpful.
Talk to your head all the time. Our head is just like a scared little toddler.
Yeah.
It's running around, having a little freaking toddler hissy fit. And we need to just let our toddler brain know that, you know what, I'm here. Yeah. You're okay. Everything's safe. I'll look after you. I've got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Christy.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to snippet this so people can have this little mini recording
Oh,
meditation
beautiful.
and put that out. And then the pre-record I'll send
Yeah.
out to those also.
Yeah,
So
awesome. So that one's called Therapeutic Applied Percussion, just for your future reference.
thank you. Thank you, Christy.
Thanks so much for having me on today. It's so
Yeah,
lovely. I love
it.
having chats with you. It's really great. And I want to acknowledge the work that you're doing as well to be that way shower in your community and do what you can to spread the light. So thank you for your contribution as well.
Awesome. I only just want to make it bigger and brighter.
Yeah.
The hope is there.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you, Christy.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.